What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for tuning in today. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Fet. I play the mobile game Rise of Kingdoms on Apple and Android. This video today is going to be another different kind of video. This one is more for internal purposes for our Alliance members in Watch It Burn and for our Kingdom 1846. I've got a special guest here with us today, Diesel 1846. My great friend in real life and also my rock mentor, the guy who got me into this awesome game that I've been playing for a little over a year at this point. Love sharing content about Rise of Kingdoms. Like I said, I love playing this game. If you guys do like this game just as much as me and like hearing how we play it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can see how we play in 1846 and in the Alliance Watch It Burn. All right, so we'll get going here, guys. Like I said, this is more of an instructional video, kind of a reminder for the players in 1846 and in our Alliance Watch It Burn. We've got about 5 points today that we are going to touch on for what we are about to go into. So the level 4 pass is about to open in a couple of days, and we just wanted to make this video to remind you guys of some key points that we need to do to make sure that we have the greatest chances of success as we get into fighting. The things we're going to cover today are based around teleporting, rallying, garrisoning, and how to protect yourself if you are getting offline. So the first point here is once again about teleporting. And if you watch my previous video about teleporting, this is a little bit different because this is teleporting for fighting scenarios. In situations, how we want our cities to be organized to maximize how much damage we can do and how efficient we can be while we're fighting on the battlefield. So the first thing, and as you guys probably noticed, we are kind of starting to get up closer to this pass. And the way that we want it to be organized coming up to this pass is we always want our biggest players, whether it's a pass or somewhere out in the field, we want our biggest players, our biggest whales up on the front line. So as you can see here, I'm up there, Diesel's up there, Oreo's up here. We've got our biggest players really, really close to the pass. This one is a little tighter than some of the other ones might be, so it's a little more difficult. But we're starting with our whales first. Then behind the whales, we do want T5 players only. And then behind those T5 players, we do want all the other players to get in there as well. Nonetheless, we do want everybody porting as close to the pass as possible. So that way you can get out into the fight faster and then refresh your troops faster when we are in these fights. But like I said, we want to start with our biggest whales up on the front lines, then the T5 players, and then all the other players as well.
And something to note here, although we want to make sure to emphasize this to our Alliance and Kingdom, these are tips for everybody. And this goes for any kind of combat scenario that you're in, whether it's Ark and city placement at an obelisk, or whether it's, in Kingsland when you're trying to position yourself effectively in front of the ziggurat. So really the main thing is you want to make sure that you have your rally leaders and your power players, your big whales, the people that are going to be tanking for you up front so they can refresh their troops rapidly. And then from there, just the decreasing levels of power.
Yep, good call. And so just to kind of show you guys an example of what we did here, all my marches are out. But we did the same thing we did in the first video. We hit that teleport button, we get as close to the pass as possible, and then as close to another player as possible. So whether you're a whale on the front line, a T5 player behind the whales, or even another player who's in the third row, so to speak, you still want to make sure that you're doing this as efficiently as possible. Don't just port randomly into a middle spot or anything like that. Make sure you're nudging up right close to that next player as you can, kind of thing. Next point here is going to be, so troop types in rally or garrison. This is just an FYI for everybody. If you do not join a rally or a garrison with the right troop type, we have another point we're going to mention that'll help us not run into this. But if we get into an event where we have an infantry rally or a cav rally or a garrison with a specific troop type in it, and we can't get you out of there, we will unfortunately have to kick you out of the Alliance. But it's obviously just because we need our troop types to be correct in these rallies and in these garrisons to make sure that we're getting the most value out of the commanders that we're using for those particular situations. So just putting it out there, of course, no hard feelings. We're not kicking you out for any other reason other than you just joined the structure or the rally with the wrong troop type. As soon as you notice you're out of the alliance, apply back and we'll get you right back in the alliance immediately.
Yep. And to that note, there's a new feature that you can now, if you're in a rally or something like that, you can leave as the player to make sure that your troops are, kind of, you don't have to get kicked out of the alliance for that. So that's something to take advantage of now. But yeah, it's something that you want to make sure that you pay close attention to, because it has substantial difference on the damage and defense and everything like that.
Right. And that was the new patch update that just happened, right? Where you can do that now. So
exactly.
As long as you're paying attention, so pay attention in chat. Of course, while we're fighting, be on Discord if you can. But as long as you're online and paying attention, we shouldn't have to kick you out of the alliance. This will only be used in situations where we cannot reach you and you're not responding, and we just simply have to do that. But like I said, apply back. We'll get you back in the alliance ASAP so that you're not at risk for a long time. So kind of a secondary point to that one would be rally leaders. So when you're launching a rally, and I know a lot of people are going to know this, but this is just, again, another reminder for any rally leaders. Anytime you're going to launch a rally, it's super helpful if you just click the button of what troop type you want in that rally. So right here, I'm going to rally this level 6 barb for it. I want cav, so I'm just going to click the cav button, and it's going to tell all the alliance members what troop type you want. Again, I know a lot of us know that point, but just in case anybody out there did not know, that's what you can do. And then in the rally screen within the alliance menu, you can see that I want cav in my rally. So again, it is the responsibility of the people joining structures and joining rallies to make sure they have the right troop types, but this will help us not run into that problem.
Yep. And if it's a situation that, you're done fighting and let's say you're unable to continue to join those rallies, join those garrisons, you want to make sure that you port out of the war zone, but also communicate that spot that you had to somebody else so they can port to the front line and use that spot effectively. So transitioning into the next point, make sure that you communicate your spot. TP out of the front line if you're going to be going offline, and always, even if you're like going to grab McDonald's, if you're going to grab a quick Starbucks, whatever the situation may be, you always want to make sure to shield if you're going offline.
Right. And just to kind of the back end of that too is I know that a lot of us have a lot of P shields saved up for KVK and stuff like that. But it's not just to protect yourself. It's also to have that spot open for another player to come in there and continue the fight where you're leaving off. So I know a lot of us have means of throwing P shields up for, infinite amount of times basically. But it's also about freeing up that spot so we can get another fighter online and in a great position to help us win that fight. Let's see. Okay, yeah, and then the one last point here is just about if you are in an alliance that's currently fighting, like if we're in the middle of a fight, whether it's Watch It Burn, A, B, C, whatever alliance you're in the kingdom, and you are going to get off for a significant amount of time, or even like Diesel said, even for a little bit, we do need room in these alliances. So what we're asking is that you go ahead and try to join another alliance that's not in the middle of a fight. That way we can have the most fighters online in that alliance that's in the middle of whatever battle they're going through, so that we can have the most fighters on and in the right place at the right time.
Exactly.
All right, guys. And one more point here as well is do not join a rally or reinforce a garrison if you're really, really far away. We want to try to keep our reinforcement marches to 10 seconds or less because we just really need to be able to have all troops in the structure or in the rally that are there. And if you join from, multiple minutes away, it really hurts us from getting the players that are closer into that rally or into that structure to reinforce faster. So if you guys are far away, just send your march to wherever we're fighting or wherever we need troops at, and then join the garrison or the rally. So don't join from far away. Make sure that if you're joining something, it's 10 seconds or less in march time. And that way we'll keep everything as full as possible and at as much strength as possible. And we don't have like somebody marching for 5 minutes while our rally gets destroyed kind of thing. Yep. And then just one last pointer, guys, just to stay safe. You can only be rallied if you're not on alliance territory. So one thing that is what we've seen some horror stories about is when people kind of forget that they're in a different alliance, or maybe they joined a different alliance for a moment and they think they're on the right territory, but then they get hit with a rally. So the only way you can get rallied is if you're not on your own alliance's territory. So just make sure that if you're in another alliance, that you're in a safe zone, have a bubble, or just get back into the right alliance. There's a lot of ways that you can protect yourself. There's only one way you get rallied, and it's by being not on your own alliance's territory. So we don't want to see any cities go down, especially our own, but any other players out there, just pay attention and do everything you can to not have your city rallied when you're out or sleeping or whatever it might be. Because like I said, the only way that happens is if you're not on alliance territory and you don't have a bubble.
Exactly.
And that's pretty much it. Are there any other points that we missed so far?
No, I think that's good.
All right, good stuff. Again, guys, this was more an internal type video, but like Diesel said as well, it is applicable to any player, any kingdom, any alliance out there for kind of how you want to position your cities for teleporting, how you want to defend yourself and protect your city while you're going into fighting in KVK. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support. If you guys do like these kind of videos about Rise of Kingdoms, like I said, hit that subscribe button. We are about a day and a half away from getting into the fighting, which we are absolutely excited for. So stay tuned and we'll get that content to you guys next time. Have a good one.